standing tall. We're ready for the fight. This is Spurs, this is our club. Come on, you lily whites. Hey, lily whites, lily whites, lily whites, lily whites. Come on, you lily whites, lily whites, lily whites, lily whites.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Your Chihuahua is here, ready to go and talk about all things Tottenham. If you know, you know. I don't mind. I'm a bit of a Chihuahua. It's all good. Pee me off and I'll pee on your leg. That's what I say. Or poop on your foot. Bite your ankles and then and do what I need to do. Anyways, less of that. So yeah, as always, we've always got stuff to talk about. But first, I'm going to say a quick hello to some of you that have come in nice and early. Rodney was here before I even started the show, so big up to Rodney. I hope you are well. We have also got Spursy across the pond. Please make sure you go and subscribe to him over there. Support everybody. Go and watch all videos and give them all a like. So yeah, Spence Talk. Here we go. Yeah, indeed. Good morning to Top Mod Driller. I hope you are well. And good morning to Janice. Good morning. Good morning. I hope you are well. So there is, of course, rumours about Spence. But first of all, we are going to get into some other bits and pieces first. As I say, I always like to sort of spread out the news. We've got a bit of the Zerbi talk as well. I thought actually what he said was quite funny. I'm going to be covering that as well at some point. And I have invited some people on, so we might get some other people's opinions too. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the Phillips deal. So it looks like that is pretty much done. Big up to Driller. That is pretty much done. And so I think, Joe, what? That's what we all wanted, right? I think we all said that he needs to go. So I'm not too bothered about it. I don't think it's the biggest of deals. I think that at the end of the day, we need to get rid of these players, right? So I'm not fussed at all. I'm really not fussed. I'm, pleased getting someone else off the books. It's important to keep doing that. We've got to keep doing this. We've got so many players. As I said before, in my one yesterday, honestly, it's mad with the amount of people we need to get out. So it's to do with obviously the squad. We need to make sure that we've got this squad sorted and register players all sort of in order. So yeah, I think that it is probably a good idea for him to go. Big up to you, Carl. I hope you're well. And shame in it about Vinicius Junior. Never mind.
My hands are blue, and my missus keeps telling me it looks like I've a Smurf.
Oh dear. Am I still frozen? People are saying I'm frozen. Hopefully I'm not. So what's your thought on the Phillips deal, Anthony? Are you pleased that that's been done?
Yeah, it was obviously wasn't gonna get in our team. We've got enough centre backs now. Is enough. I mean, these players can't keep going out on loan, can they? So and De Zerbi, if he's not in De Zerbi's plans, I've not really seen him play much. I don't really watch much friendlies, but I think he's a good. What I've heard of him, he's a good Championship player. I don't think he'll quite make it to a top Premier League club. Maybe if he gets promoted with Middlesbrough, maybe he'll make it to a low end Premier League club. But he's clearly not going to work at Spurs, so you might as well, instead of sending him out on loan again, you might as well just let him go. I mean, we can't keep hold of these fringe players, can we?
No, that's it. We need to sort out the squad, right? So I think that at the end of the day, these things need to be done, and they need to be done ASAP, in my opinion. We just can't keep players and loaning them out. I feel like that keep loaning them out is just stupid. We're just wasting our time if they're never going to play for Spurs. So yeah, Anthony's
Exactly.
link there. Big up to Driller. You're
Big
never going to
up.
get him in the first place. Yeah, yeah. We all saw you all get a bit excited. Don't worry, we saw you.
Never gonna get who? So.
Oh, Vinny Junior, isn't it? He's signed a new
Oh.
contract.
Yeah, and
So
I said that to Pete and stuff. Pete's been saying the whole time we'll get him because we're gonna pay him what he wants and stuff. And when I heard today that he's signed a new contract, I had to mention it to him.
of course, absolutely. You have to do it. Yeah, as I say, for me, I feel like the squad now needs to be jiggled around, and we can't keep basically loaning out these players, man. It's just silly. It is just ridiculous. So I'll be happy. I'm happy with that. Happy to get rid of him, and the deal is, like I say, pretty much done. We've also got the move Melia. He's been medical has been done. So again, another youngster out. He's gone on the. I think he's gone on loan, hasn't he? So he's
Yeah.
out.
So I don't mind like Melia's hard. He's hardly plays. I don't mind youngsters going out on loan, but Phillips is about 21, isn't he, or something? So
Yeah,
is he 21? So it's clearly with Phillips, he's never done a play for Spurs, but Melia might have a future if he has a couple of decent loan spells.
yeah,
But at the moment, we've got Van Heck, we've got Senesi,
that's
we've
right.
got Van der Ven. He's clearly never done a play in our first team at the moment. You might as well just let him go completely.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that people obviously rating some of these youngsters, but for me, I just think that at the end of the day, they're not going to get a chance because they're not going to get time. So yeah, he's basically undergone his medical at Lincoln today ahead of finalising the loan. So yeah, that seems to be another one that is done. Let's see what other people. If you've got any questions or think you want to say to us, put a Q in front of it, and we of course will answer you. Arsenal lost yesterday. Thought you'd be happy about that. Yeah, I'm more than happy about that. But the fact is, it don't really mean a lot, to be honest with you. Pre-season doesn't really say too much, so I'm not going to be counting on that. Mikey Moore on his way today to Cologne for his medical. Yeah, another one out on loan. These youngsters, I think, are going to possibly be good. They definitely need to go out on loan because we need to see more of them playing football before I think we can make a decision to whether they're good or not, if I'm honest. That's how I see it, Anthony. I don't know about you.
Yeah, the thing is, De Zerbi wants players for now. And we can't, like, at the end of the day, we can't 1 minute want De Zerbi to be backed and giving him what he wants, and then the second he ships a few of these players out, then moan that he's when we're selling these type of players. It's not our fan. I know what our fan base is like. We get attached to our youngsters, but if they're not ready for now, then let them have a loan spell. Give them a couple of loan spells. See how they get on loan. A couple of our players have gone out on loan and haven't done anything. And some fans still think they deserve a chance at Spurs. But if they ain't done anything, then they should be at the Spurs.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that a lot of people rated Mikey Moore. I've not really seen anything of him that I feel like that he deserves a place. I feel like he's a good player. He's decent, but I don't think he's anything special yet. I think he's got a lot to learn. He's still really young. So for me, I feel like, no, you need to just let him go out on sort of loan to see what they're about. Spurs correspondent saying the kids get their opportunity in training. If they show something in training, they get game time. We're finally acting like a club going for trophies. Big up to you. Yeah, I think, like I say, that it needs to be done. And like you just said, we need to act in like a way to sort of better ourselves. It's not really about the youngsters. For me, it's about what's best for Tottenham. And I feel like none of these players are particularly worthy, I don't think, yet of being in the team. I know that with Williams Barnett, he's too young to be moved on yet. We can't loan him, but so he might get a little bit of a chance while he is at Tottenham. But I feel like he's someone again that probably will go out on loan in January once he's turned 18. He'll probably go because it's in October his birthday, the beginning of October.
He's one that'll probably. Out of all the youngsters we've got, he's probably the one that'll break through. He's probably has more potential of breaking through eventually. But I mean, none of these. I think we do hype up our youngsters a bit too early without actually seeing them like in the first team. Like we
Yeah,
always
no,
say,
I
like
agree.
yeah, like even Vustovic. I know he weren't come out of the academy, but everyone wanted him to stay and stuff. And I was like, on what basis? We've not really seen him in the Premier League yet.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that a lot of people were bigging up a lot of these players, having not really seen much of them. So I'm with you on that one. The next thing I was going to talk about, Anthony, with you is that do you think, right, that because we made such big moves in the beginning of the transfer window, that it's kind of skewed people's perception of the window? Hear me out. So I think if we would have done this a little bit differently, say we would have got some of the freebies in before pre-season, and then we would have done maybe someone like a Tonali later on spending all that money, do you think that would have changed people's perception of it? Because I think it felt like, because it was so compact, the way that it went, it feels like that possibly people's expectations then got up to here. And if it was done
Yeah.
differently, maybe people would be feeling now less anxious about getting stuff done. What do you think?
Well, if we waited a bit for Tonali, we may have lost Tonali to someone else.
I know.
Um,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that in a hypothetical world where that wasn't the case. I was just saying about the timings. Maybe it's the timing of it that maybe made people's expectations be a bit higher.
yeah, probably. Yeah, we just. I think what the thing is, I think with our fan base, not just our fan base, a lot of fan bases. When with us, for example, we're not used to this. We're not used to so much business being done so quickly. We are you know we're more used to stuff that's happening now. You know, quiet spells. So when we've had all this business done so early, we're now we want more. We want more constantly like this. And now nothing's happening. Everyone's like, well, where's the forwards? Where's this? Where's that? So I think we're a bit like we're just a bit we've got a bit carried away with how everything's been going in the transfer window so far.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that, as I say, I somewhat think that if we would have done it in a slightly less compact way, I feel like that maybe people will feel a little bit differently because they'd feel like we're still getting business done. But because
Yeah,
we had such a massive wave of getting players in, and now we've had such a dry spell, it feels like everybody's really going a bit like, oh my God, we're not going to get anyone else in. But if we would have done it slowly and did it a bit drip feedy, I think that people might have somewhat felt differently. I just get that feeling that I feel like that because we've done it so quick, that everybody's expectations just went absolutely through the
yeah.
roof because they thought we were going to carry on like that.
Well,
But
it's
that's
not going
just
to happen. We're not going to get someone in like we got Fernandez and Tonali in the next couple of days. Then the next week get a couple more players, and next week get a couple more. It doesn't work like that, does it?
No, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Rodney, we all do want the best for Tottenham, obviously, apart from Carl. But yeah, you got Tonali and we've got Bruno G. Yeah, I don't think North London is appreciated by Newcastle anymore. I don't think they like us.
I think Newcastle are in trouble next year.
I think so as well. I think you would have been hearing Spurs again going for free transfers, being cheap, etc. Spurs across the pond, of course. I do think that our fans obviously wouldn't have been happy regard. I think I think our fans do get a little bit ahead of themselves. I do think that maybe they would have been upset about the free transfers, but I think the free transfers actually were really good ones. I don't think there were free transfers that are rubbish. No, like sometimes you get a free transfer. It's always a bit like, oh, that's a bit
Yeah.
meh. But I don't think they were bad, you know. We
No,
all
the thing
know
is,
waiting
free.
to last minute doesn't work very well. You know, I don't mean last minute, Dan. I just meant if it was like drip fed a little bit differently. Like I said last night on yours, if it was drip fed, maybe people would feel a little bit differently about the transfer window. I don't know.
Yeah, like free transfers. If they're good free transfers, sometimes you spend £60 million. Look, we've spent £60 million in the past on rubbish, haven't we?
Yeah, no, that's true. And Jules saying the players we're going for are not easy to do, especially doing business with the Prem clubs. Yeah, of course, deals aren't always as simplistic as you want the player. You give the money. Sometimes it can be a little bit more complicated than that. Bigger deals, like see with the City deal with Elliot, Joe, that took over a month to get that done. From the
Yeah.
time that they were linked with him, it weren't done quickly. It weren't done quickly at all. So those bigger deals do take time. And I actually think relatively we did all right with the Tonali deal because I think we got that quite quick, and the Fernandes
But
deal.
we might be doing deals behind the scenes and stuff, and I'm hoping that is the
True,
case. We don't.
true.
Would you rather this, where it's behind the scenes when no one knows about it, and it suddenly springs on a surprise, or everyone knows, and suddenly there's a chance for a hijack?
I would rather it be a surprise because I do quite like those ones. I think them ones coming out of the blue are quite nice, really, because
Yeah.
like you say, you just don't expect them. So I wouldn't mind
Like
like having it like that.
the Morgan Gibbs White one last year. I know it didn't work out in the end, but when it just come out of nothing, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it did. It came out of the blue completely. I think those ones are really exciting. I think the ones that keep being talked about. See, like the Savinho deal, I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm not even excited if he comes. Maybe because I'm not too enamoured with him as a player, but even so, I feel like that he's been spoken about so much that it's driven me a bit crazy. I'm not going to lie. Hearing his bloody name, you know.
I know that's if Man City are asking for too much, then just walk away. Just see, just like what's the word? Count whatever catch their bluff or something. Man City's bluff.
Call
Just
their
say okay,
bluff, yeah.
yeah. Just say okay, fine, walk away. Man City will sell eventually. But because Savinho wants to go, but if Man City is saying they want 70 million or 75, he's not worth that. So just don't just just say it. Just Spurs might as well just say, okay, we're pulling out. See you later and done. See what happens. Savinho might then force it even more, and it might eventually get done. But Man City are taking the piss at the moment.
Yeah, no, they are taking a bit of the mick. Get out of my head. I said that just as you was typing it, Jalla, about the Savinho deal. Yeah, I think I would personally walk away. I would say to them, "This is the money we're going to offer. Take it or leave it." I think it's a bit of I think it's a bit of a Mickey take now. Like I really do. So I'm not really impressed with it. And even so, I feel like that actually it's just something that you're not excited about anymore because we've spoken about it and spoken about it and spoken about it. You know, like it's just too much.
Would you be
Do
happy?
we go on?
Sorry, so would you be happy with? I can't remember what you said. Would you be happy with Gakpo?
Yeah, yeah, I like Gakpo.
Yeah, like a lot of our fan base is saying it'll be underwhelming, but I think he would improve us loads.
He scores goals. Listen, he's got definite output. So I just think that at the end of the day, that's what's important, right? We need output. So I'm not
Yeah.
really somebody who, like, we need goal scorers, right? We have to get goal scorers in, and we haven't currently got that. So I feel that I'm not really going to complain if someone comes in who is a goal scorer. Yeah, I think he's proven it. Like season after season, he can do it. So it's not just a one season.
I think with Liverpool fans, when they're like, just Liverpool fans were saying were moaning about him, but trouble is they've got a better side than us, so they probably, compared to a lot of their players, he probably is frustrating. But with us, he would slot straight in there and easily be our best forward player, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think he would be. Do I think we're going to get Osimhen, Carl? No. In my heart of hearts, I just don't think so because I think that the wages that he's on, I don't think we can match them because he doesn't pay as much tax, so we'd have to offer him a lot for him to like be tempted to come over to us. So no, I don't think so.
Who do you think the big bomber is then?
I don't know. I don't know if there is one. I don't know. I don't think it's Osimhen though. I really don't. Who do you think it is? And what do you think about getting Osimhen?
I would love Osimhen. In a dream world, I'd love him, but I can't see it. But it is the wages. But I've also heard Alvarez's name being mentioned. Because they still want Romero. But even in that one, I'm thinking in my head, why would Alvarez come to us?
Yeah, I don't think he would neither. Like, I just think that you've got to be realistic about what we can get and who we can get. I just don't think that is realistic. Like, it's just not a realistic signing. Where Osimhen, the only reason it's not realistic is because of the wages. It isn't because I don't think he would want to come to Spurs. I think they said already that it's not a problem. They said that the actual terms and stuff wouldn't be a problem for Osimhen. So, yeah, that means that,
he would have to take the pay cut, wouldn't he?
well, yeah, and
But
I don't
to
think
be
he'll do
honest,
that.
if he wants to come to Premier League, he would have to take the pay. No matter what club he goes to, he has to take the pay cut. I don't think any Premier League club's going to pay his wages. Otherwise, he limits himself for what leagues he can play in. It's either Turkey or Saudi. And
Yeah, no, I agree.
I've heard he wants to come to the top. He does eventually want to come to Premier League. So if that's the case, he needs to drop his wages a bit.
Yeah, no, that is true. Yeah, no, I think that, like I say, the wages is the problem. I don't think it's anything to do with Premier League and stuff. I think that honestly he would come, but it's just that. Big up to Aussie Ange, big up me and Anthony 15 in the chat. Sleeps until season begins. Brace yourselves, strap in tight. Says Aussie Ange. Aussie Ange is the most positive person I know. I love it. I love that he's so positive. I think it's nice to be like that, have a positive point of view on it. So we have got Liverpool is now being linked with Spence, and apparently Spence is happy to go. Could that be part of something to do with the Gakpo deal? Because we're opening the door for them to say, well, actually, you can have Spence if you let us have Gakpo. What do you think about that?
Yeah, if Spence wants to go, see you later, mate. The thing is, if it won't be a swap deal, will it? I think because very rarely it'll be swap deals. It'll probably be us paying what we want for Gakpo and then want for Spence. But if De Zerbi doesn't want Spence and Liverpool wants Spence, or we don't, and we need Gakpo, then at the end of the day, it's a no-brainer. I just don't. I want us to do whatever De Zerbi wants. I'm happy with, to be honest. We need to. He's our manager, and he knows best. And I like Spence, but he's not going to play in front of Poro, is he? So.
No, I think that he's on more than that, Osherman Driller. I'm sure it's a bit more than that when I looked.
No, he's on. I think he's on about 400.
No, it's not 4. It's not 4 either. It's not. It's not as much as that. It's something like 350 or 300 something, I think.
Oh, is it? Oh, if it's that, then surely we've upped our wage bill, and surely that would be an issue, then, would it?
No, but the problem is that he doesn't pay much tax on that. So if we wanted him if we want to equal that, we have to give him more because of the tax. That's where
so we would have to pay him like 400, probably minimum to match that. Then if it just the tax.
Yeah, unless he wants to take a pay cut, and we pay him the same, but he's going to obviously be paying more tax.
Yeah.
Rudolph saying here, oh, hold on, sorry, I missed the first message. Hold up a sec, sorry, my bad. Did I? Is that the first message? Sorry. I wouldn't sell Spence to Liverpool, as that will be a monumental error. There's very good reason why Liverpool wants Spence. Sell Udogie instead, as Spence is a better defender, as many can see. I think, though, he's better at defending, but he's not good going forward. I'm not saying Udogie is very, very good going forward, but Spence, we only saw him a few games. I think for England that he did it. So I'm not really somebody who Pardon?
Sorry, Mia. Sorry. Thing is, we would get more money for Spence than Udogie.
Yeah, no, we would.
Spence is English. He's available a lot more as well. Udogie's always injured.
Yeah, no, that is true. Yeah, no, it is true. But it's really difficult because he is English and we do need English players, right? Because we need to meet our quota too for that. So I just can't see, unless we get another English player, that we're going to really do that.
Does Welsh count as homegrown?
I think that it does for the Premier League, but it doesn't for European competitions.
I was going to say, if we got rid of Spence, would you be happy with Neco Williams?
Yeah, I love Neco Williams. I think he is a very good player.
So maybe that might be a deal where we go for Neco Williams and Spence goes.
Yeah, we could say to Forest, because they want Bergvall. We could say again, if you give us Gibbs White, we'll pay for him. Obviously, it's not a swap deal, but we'll obviously you want him, so we'll let you have him if you like.
Yeah. So if we have Gibbs. If we get just say in an ideal world, we let go of Spence, we get Gibbs White and Necklet Williams. That's two homegrown and let one go in it. So that'll be.
Yeah, no, of course, but I don't know. Rudolph's also saying, of course, if Spence is happy to give give the way he's been treated by Spurs, it's not a no-brainer why Spurs is not going to play ahead of the other defenders. He's the best of a lot of the guys. I mean, I don't think he's better than Porro, and I don't know if he's actually better. It's difficult with Robertson because we saw a bit of him was good and a bit bad. But at the end of the day, I don't think that Spence is going to get in above anyone because he hasn't done so far, really.
How has he been treated badly by Spurs?
I don't know. I don't think he's been treated badly. I think that you earn your place.
At times his attitude's let him down. He's not gonna be picked if he's got a bad attitude. And I've heard he's had a bad attitude in the past. Whether that's improved. So he's got to take responsibility as well, hasn't he?
The thing is, that's all speculation. But what I will say is that you can't guarantee that he has or hasn't got an attitude. But when that other players that have been injured have come back, he gets dropped, and I think that says a lot. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Conte weren't a fan of him, and De Zerbi's come in, and what we hear, he's not a massive fan of him. So.
I mean, I don't know if he's not a massive fan of him. I just think that, again, I will say that when a player comes back, if you've earned your place, then you keep your place. And he's not really done that. So, I mean, yeah, he's had good moments. He's had a patch where he was good. But I don't think that I've seen enough of him to say he is better than a Porro. So Carl say, I wouldn't sell Spence. I'll play him on the left. I just don't know if he's going to get in.
But he's not. He's right-footed, isn't he, Spence?
Yeah, but he can play obviously on both sides.
Yeah, I know, but I think he looks better on the right. But Porro's are going to be our main right back, so he's not get ahead of him.
Yeah, no, I get that. You've just made the argument yourself. Udoka's always injured. What do you mean Spence is not good going forward? The things that he did at the World Cup were fantastic. He's been mucked about, okay? Listen, I feel like that in the England game, people are just remembering like the latter stages. I think at the other, when he did come on, he was good, but I don't think he was outstanding. Like, I wouldn't say that going forward, he was up there, if you like. That's just me personally, because I watched England games, obviously. Good morning to you, Martin. What's your thoughts about the World Cup and Spence? How he did?
Yeah, I thought he did well. I was impressed with Spence, actually. I thought he played really well. That's the best I've seen him play in a long time compared to what he's been for Spurs. But he doesn't do it all the time. Innit? He wasn't playing that good for Spurs at times. So are we just going to judge him after a World Cup? After a few games in the World Cup?
But that's what I'm saying, isn't it? I feel like that actually that people are remembering that latter stages of the World Cup and not actually looking at it overall. And I think overall he's not been. I don't think he was outstanding in that World Cup personally.
Yeah, like the Cape Verde goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He's about 40, and I think he played one game. I can't remember who it was against, but he was excellent in that game. And I hear some Spurs fans saying we should sign him. And I'm like, one, he's 40, and two, he's just because he's had one brilliant game, we should automatically sign him off that game.
Yeah, no, I get you. It's like reactive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a very reactive way of being, but yeah. Well, I disagree. Spence is a better defender than Porro, but Porro is better going forward. That I will admit. With the lack of right wingers, I'll play Porro right wing and Spencer at right back. Porro is a poor defender, guys. I mean, if you play correctly, like what Spain did, and somebody covers him, I don't think that it's a problem. And I think that's what De Zerbi will probably do with Porro. I just don't think it works. I think that with Spence, I don't know, right, about you, but I feel like Spence isn't really a team player. I always feel like he is a bit out for himself. I just get that vibe from him.
Agree.
And I think that that's building up relationships on the pitch is very important.
Well,
Like, yeah.
the thing with Poro, people say he's a rubbish defender, and look, I've criticised Poro loads of times, but he didn't look like a rubbish defender in the World Cup, did he?
No. Is Porro a better right winger than Kudus? No. I don't think that
No.
Porro is a better right winger than Kudus. David, no. I'll be completely honest with you. I think Kudus needs to improve a bit. I do think he needs to look up a little bit more sometimes. But I do think that Porro is actually, I don't think he's as good a right winger as Kudus. Big up, David. I hope you're well this morning, Cobber. Oh, no, it's not this morning for you, is it? It's the evening for you. Yes, we should judge Spence on his performances at the highest possible standard. And yes, he was outstanding. All the commentators were saying he's the big surprise for England in the World Cup. Did you miss? I mean, I watched the World Cup because I support England. So I did watch him. And obviously, I want to back my players. And I think that the last few games he did really well. But I don't think in the whole tournament he was outstanding. I think he tried very hard in those last games. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know about that. So let me know, guys, if you watched England, what your thoughts are about it. I would love to know. So while we're talking Porro's right winger, because I think people were saying that we should put Spence and then put in Porro as a right winger. I don't know, David. That's not me personally. What I would do. 6:30. There we go in the evening for you over in Oz. We should be okay this season with defenders only playing one game a week. Next season, when we'll need depth, then we regret selling Spence, says Jason. I mean, that is a good point. We do have to also think for the future, but that's why I would get a Neco Williams, because I think he's a really good player and one for the future. And when we need depth, I think he is very good and he can play on both sides as well. So he's someone that can do that.
I don't mind keeping Spence, but if he wants to go, like Zerbi has said that if anyone wants to go, then they can go, and if he wants to go to Liverpool, or whatever, then in my eyes, I'm like, see you later, and we'll just get someone else in.
And no, I think he did have a decent World Cup, Carl. I'm not saying he didn't have a decent World Cup, but I just don't think it was up there with somebody I would say was the top performer of the actual tournament. I think he was good, like I say.
Porro had a better one, didn't he?
Well, obviously he got to the final, so I think it's a little bit different and won. I know we're just putting every permutation forward, Mia. Why I rate your channel, hun. Big up to you, David. Yeah, I think, like I say, that people are remembering those last few games. So, yeah, I think that people may be going on that, and you can't go on that because I've not seen that at Spurs enough. No, sorry, just had a doctor's call. Did I hear you say, let's talk about England? No, Jala, I asked people what their opinion was Spence in the World Cup, because people basically were saying, or someone was saying that Spence had an outstanding World Cup, where I thought he had a very good World Cup, but I think that actually it was the latter part of the World Cup that he come good. So personally for me, I wouldn't say that overall he had the most outstanding World Cup. Did you see Spence lovers watch the second half of the semis? Go and watch the second half of highlights. Gets beaten multiple times, 1v1, turns the ball over in the box and allows Messi tons of time and space, says Spurs across the bonds.
To be honest though, that the goal that actually happened, Spence should have been smart there against Messi, because he actually got fouled, didn't he? He got trod on. If he'd gone down, then it may have not been given, but he didn't. He stayed up, and then obviously he got the cross. Messi got a cross in, and the rest is history.
And the rest is history, indeed. Yes, you're wrong. In the entire tournament, he did very well. I watched it all, and he was fantastic. I don't think I'm wrong. I think it's opinions, but okie doke. Even the goal he was blamed for was not his fault. Centre back went AWOL and Pickford id, but we blame him. Listen, like I say.
To say you can't have your opinions, because people accuse you of being wrong in this day and age.
Yeah, listen, like I say, I think, as I say, he was good. I don't think he's world class. I don't think that he was up there as the player of the tournament, in my opinion. Spence was world class at World Cup. Dutch, that's again absolutely your opinion, and you're entitled to that. He wasn't great. He was getting gunned down by Tuchel, and then stepped up in the light
Yeah.
in the 2 games. Yeah, in the last 2 games. That's what I said. I think people are remembering Drilla the last games, the latter part of the tournament, and not the former part. I think that's probably where
No,
what I would say.
I remember in one of the early games, Tuchel was shouting at him, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he was. He's going absolutely crazy at him. So, as I say, I just think to me, you can't go just on that latter part of the tournament, because I don't think that's enough. Like, I just don't think it's enough to sort of say that I can rate him enough to put him up there like some people are. And that's just me. Like, that's obviously just my opinion. Liverpool, 35 million maybe. Where's the bidding war from top clubs, says Spursy across the pond? I mean, yeah, if he was good, I suppose there would be a bidding war, I guess. Big up, Joe. I hope you are well. Let me see. I think Spencer come on leaps and bounds, considering how some of our old managers have treated him, says Jason. Listen, I'm happy for him to do well, and I want him to do well. But if he wants to leave, let him leave. I just don't rate him as highly, perhaps, as other people based on a few games for England. Because for Tottenham, we never saw that. So, I mean, okay, I will grant you, when we did have Thomas Frank, we didn't like to win games of football. But, however, I think that you can't really say that in other times, he's been around other managers, that he has been outstanding when it comes to going forward. Defending, yes, but other times he actually has been caught out against other players. He doesn't lock up every player, is what I would say. I don't think it's very nice to tell people they're talking crap, because I think it's an opinion, but you do you. Watch out again. Messi fouled Spence, but it was not given because FIFA is corrupt. Yeah, we did just say that he should have gone down. So I have the photo to prove it. Tuchel shouting at him does not prove anything now, does it? I mean, if you're doing the right things, I'm guessing the manager doesn't need to shout at you as much, but clearly Tuchel was trying to get a point across to him. So, yeah.
Let's you know what, Rudolph, let's you have your opinion, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But at the end of the day, just because we have our opinion, we're not talking crap at all. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I hate it when people say we're wrong, we're talking crap or anything. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, that's it.
Exactly, that's what I just said. It can't be crap because it's an opinion. So all opinions are allowed. Indeed, David, that's exactly it. Only players who want to be here. Yeah, no, exactly. That's what De Zerbi said. He only wants players that want to be here. I love the excuse making. De Zerbi doesn't want Spence. I'm not saying that he doesn't want Spence. Spursy across the pond. I was just pointing out that actually he gets dropped a lot. Even when the player that was injured comes back, he does get dropped. And that I think that if he wants to leave, he should leave.
Well, Derby has said that he doesn't mind anyone staying. If anyone wants to stay, then basically prove it to him he wants to stay. But if anyone
That's
wants
right.
to leave, then he won't stop in their way. And that's exactly what I hear. If no one wants to play for Spurs, then see you later.
Yeah, no, exactly that. That's exactly what he said. It's all subjective indeed, it is, Carl. I do like Spence. We need to look into why a lot of managers drop him. Yeah, exactly, Julia. I think that's what my main concern is, or my main thoughts are, is that managers do regularly drop him. So it's a bit like, why? Why does that happen? You know, there must be a reason. There can't be no reason to it. If he wanted Spence, he would say not for sale. Spursy across the pond, that's true. It's true. He would say that he's absolutely not for sale.
No,
He's a no-go.
I don't think any manager ever says that, do they? I think every player has a price, don't they?
Yeah, no, of course.
Did you hear what sorry, Mia. Did you hear what I heard on We Are Tottenham TV about De Zerbi when he got Van Het and stuff? He
Yeah.
basically, when he signed him, he basically texted him after the game and said You almost effing sent me down. You will join Tottenham in the summer. It's a yes or a yes. That you have no choice. How about
Yeah,
that?
no, he did. We'll get into that. I'm going to read out
Oh,
what he
okay,
said
so
in the interview. So was Porro caught out loads of times in the season? Yeah, no, he was. I'm not trying to say that he's a good defender, though. I'm saying that we didn't play Porro correctly, and I think that if you're saying that the strongest thing about Spence is his defence, so I mean, I don't understand why that would be a problem, because defending is his main skill, and if he's not defending correctly, then that's a problem. But going forward, Porro was poor at times as well. All of them were pretty poor.
sometimes got to say about the systems, the managers, constant change. The
Yeah,
managers don't
of
help, does it?
course, of course. But the fact is that he keeps getting dropped, Spence. So you've got to ask why. What was the offer for Romero, Mia? I think it was around 40 million euros, which is about 35, something like that, million
Yeah.
pounds, which isn't a lot. We'll speak about it though. Sorry, I'm preoccupied with my dad in the hospital at the minute. Well, I wish him all the best, David. I really do. Sorry, not spamming. No problem. Yeah. For Spurs, he was mucked about, not wanted until Ange saw something in him, and then he did not respect Frank. I can say you're wrong based on evidence. The picture, centre back's gone missing. Manager can be wrong. I mean, I don't think that you can be wrong based on a picture, because that's your opinion and your interpretation of a picture. It's still subjective. Facts are, I was born in 1982. That's a fact that cannot be disputed. Those are
Right.
facts. But if you're going to say, okay, I'll give you an example is, if I said to you, I was born in 1982, and you say, no way, you don't look like you're born in 1982. That's a subjective opinion based on a fact of me being born in 1982, right? So that's how it works. Just because
Right.
you base it on a fact, it doesn't mean that it's actually your opinion is a fact.
Is Rudolph Spence's agent or something?
I don't know. De Zerbi said Porro and Bergvall are not for sale per Howling. Yeah, exactly. He's saying that certain players aren't for sale. Spurs are across the pond, which means obviously that he wants to keep them. We still need homegrown players in team. Can sell to Liverpool. We only going to strengthen them, says Jason. Listen, I don't mind with someone like a Spence if he really wants to go. But at the end of the day, I do understand the homegrown issue is something. Porro is a defender, 100%. I mean, he's better going forward, though. His strengths are going forward, not defend as much defending. That's why the way that Spain play him works, right? Oh, bless you, Kyle. Yeah, me too. Yeah, unfortunately, it will actually be my dad's. It's at the end of this month. It'll be a year since my dad passed away. So yeah,
Oh,
no, I
sorry
feel
about
you. Late in the morning, guys. Big up to you, Seven Sisters. I hope you're well. And please make sure, guys, you are smashing that like button for me, as it does all help. Subscribe as well, and also go over and subscribe to Anthony as well over at Tottenham's Therapy. So yeah. Carl, we lost my mum last year. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, David. I'm really sorry to hear that. A picture is a fact. How do you know that? Because that picture is used as evidence in court of law, and it's not an opinion. Also, pictures are used as part of VAR system, which is question of fact, surely. But obviously, it's the interpretation, because we all say that VAR is wrong sometimes, right? Because they look at that picture and we say it's wrong. So it's an interpretation of the rules from that picture. And facts in evidence, when you use a picture as evidence, you can't just use a picture. You have to have other evidence, because again, that picture can be perceived as different people. So yeah, pictures are part of evidence, but they're not the full picture of evidence that you need to prove something in a court of law. And as I say, VAR, how many times do we say VAR have got it wrong when they look at that picture? So that just sort of proves my point in a way. Porro can't defend for shit, as why all teams focus on him. Crap right back, very good wing back. Yeah, listen, as I said, I think that if we play him, Dan, the way that they play him in when he plays for Spain, I think that that's absolutely fine. You know, I think that honestly, the fact is that we've not been playing him really to his strengths and what he's actually good at. And Spencer's better at defending. Yeah, no, I did say that he's good. He's better at defending. I did say that. I didn't say different.
With Udogie, I don't think Udogie's good at going forward either, to be honest. I think he's
yeah.
When he goes forward, his final ball lets him down every time.
Yeah, no, I do get that. I still see no firepower yet. Are we getting worried about the season not too far away? What are your thoughts? I think we will get players in. I think that it's not as easy sometimes to try and get these players. I think with a Savinho, we need to walk away and go elsewhere. But I'm hoping that we do get them. I think we will get them. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I think we will. Maybe if not this week, I think next week we'll get one or two. We didn't get two really, but I do think we'll get them in. It's frustrating because we did all that business so early that we thought we were just going to go and add more and more. But like you said, it don't always work out that way. So I do think they will come in. We just have to be a bit patient. I'll be surprised if first in season if Richarlison and Solanke are our first choice starters.
Yeah, no, I would be as well. Well, all of our thoughts are with you, David. Honestly, yeah, I don't want to get upset because if I talk about stuff, it gets me upset because obviously my dad. So, I did not say the picture was the totality of evidence. I said it was a fact, which it is. Now, yes, you should collaborate with others' evidence, but pictures are factual pieces of information. I mean, they are, but they're also interpreted differently. So while they're a fact, they also can be interpreted, like I say, with the VAR. Obviously, people say that the VAR got it wrong, but they're looking at those pictures, right? So it's sort of like, yeah, Spence. I'm not saying that Spence is a bad defender. I'm not trying to diss Spence at all. I actually think he's pretty good, but I don't think he gets in above some of the other defenders that we've got. And I do think that actually he keeps getting dropped. But why? Like, you know, he keeps getting dropped. Thank you, Mia and chat, Julia and chat. Take care, be safe. Same to you, David.
Sorry about that. I had a phone call just as
That's right.
I was on, and then the sound went suddenly. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, because when you get a call, it does. Hugs, thank you. Yeah. Oh, deep breaths. Because if I think, like I say, if I think about it, I will get upset. I try not to. So many excuses for Porro. I mean, I don't think we're actually giving excuses for Porro. If I'm honest, I'm dodging damn drop bears here. LOL. I've seen pictures of what they look like, drop bears, but I've never obviously had to encounter them. David, big up to you. For me, we're never going to fix everything in one window. Yeah, Seven Sisters, I agree. I don't think you are going to fix everything in one window. I think that would be silly to think that would be the case, right? You're not going to do that. So for me, it's, you know, we've got to understand that you can't get everything done in one go. So I think we will. I think we will get two players in. I really do. I think that honestly it will get done, but I think that it's going to take a bit of time.
It's annoying that we're at home or whatever. We're all like checking the YouTube to see or internet to see if there's any updates. It's like just trying to see if anyone's giving us any like here we goes or anything to know.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like who? I think we will get. I think we will get a forward. I think we'll get one that plays across the front three, and I think we will get a winger as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get Savinho and possibly like a Gakpo, possibly. I know we've been linked with Nusa is an option. The guy, the Sherlock, I can never say his name correctly.
Benfica.
Yeah. So we've been linked with quite a few. So I think we will get one done. Elmana we've been linked with. So I do think we'll get someone. If Spence does not get ahead of others defenders, it's primarily the fault of the manager, not Spence. I mean, Not really, because you have to prove yourself, I guess. And if a manager thinks you're good enough to play, right? Which is why you seem to be implying that ultimately why has Frank lost his job? I mean, I think that Frank lost his job because he wasn't the right manager for Tottenham, because he told us we're going to lose games and not win games. He didn't want to win games of football, which was obviously troubling. I didn't see much on the pitch what he was actually trying to do. And the fact is that Spence keeps getting dropped when he has opportunity to prove himself. So that just shows you that he hasn't proved himself enough to managers, perhaps.
Well, Frank, obviously his first press conferences, we're going to lose football matches. De Zerbi's
Exactly.
first press conferences, we should be fighting towards the top of the league. Mentality, completely different mentality, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. 100%. And that's why I think there's like a big difference, right? In the attitude, like I say, of both of it, like the managers. And I think it does make a difference. RDZ will get the best out of our players, can see the changes already. Looking forward to the first 15 players. It's going to be interesting. Who are the DZ picks? Yeah, RDZ picks. Yeah, I think that we have to sort out this squad, because I do feel like that this squad is a crazy one. We need to make sure that we get rid of some of these players, Jason. And any players we get in, we have to be a bit careful because of the numbers, because we can't register everybody. We might have to not register some that are injured long term, because then, or yeah, we're going to have to do something like that, because then we're still going to have that problem in January though. So it's a bit of a tough one, if I'm honest.
With defence, because Doddy's injured again, isn't it? I wonder if he puts Van der Ven at left back and puts Senesi and Van Heck as the two centre backs.
Possibly. If we're only 4 signings from being title contenders, says Craig. The Zerbi will know this and pushing hard. Oshman, Gibbs White, Savino and Gakpo. Imagine getting them all so close.
Bring it on. I'd love those.
Oh my God. That even in that mix, having Savino, I'll be like, wow, that, yeah, for me, I would definitely go for that. Osherman scores goals. Gibbs White, fantastic. Gakpo scores goals. And Savino, of course.
Gibbs White
I
scores
think,
goals as well, doesn't he? So
who?
Gibbs White scores goals
Yes, I
as
just
well.
said Gibbs White scores goals.
Yeah.
So Oshman scores goals, Gibbs White does, and so does Gakpo. That gives us loads of firepower. Savino is obviously one to be seen whether he will come and step up or not. But to me, if we've got all of that around him, it gives him the best possible chance to develop better. So we won't be chucking him in because we've got Gakpo in front of him. So yeah, of course. If you could pick your ideal team now, including new signings, who would your team be? Ooh. I would probably pick, I would say Kinski in goal, Porro. Do you know what? It have to be Senesi, Van Heck, and probably, I don't know actually if I would pay maybe, I think I'll play Mickey, Van Heck, and Robertson on the other side. It'll be Tonali and Fernandez, Madison up front. Oh, this is tricky. If we had Kudos, and then on the left wing, I would be. It's really difficult now because we haven't really got anyone.
Is this
Tell.
with the team? Is this what the team they've got now, or with
Yeah,
players?
with the team we've got now, Tell and probably Richie up front. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I think it's hard because of the players we've got up front aren't all that. So let me know what you think, guys. If you're watching this on playback, please let me know what your ideal team would be, what your picks would be. Anthony, what's your picks?
Kinsey in goal, Poro right back. Defence is really tricky, actually. Probably, yeah, I'll probably, I don't know. I like Robertson, but I'd probably put Van der Ven left back to start off with anyway, with Senesi and Van Heck as the centre backs, with Tonali, Fernandez in the 2 midfield, with Madison behind the striker as number 10. Tell Kudus and Richie. So yeah.
Fair enough. There we go. Like I say, it's not easy because of the forwards that we've got. I would definitely say that Kudos needs to, if he's fit, he would play. And if Madison was fit, he would have to play for me because I think they're the most, he's creative. We know Kudos is really good. It's just the left side that's probably a little bit screw with.
Yeah.
So Arsenal Tottenham title race. Not sure about that one.
I would
I've just
I,
seen. Gone.
I say I'd love that, and then us nick it that last last little season.
Can you imagine? I've just seen MGW linked to Bayern and Chelsea. Oh, interesting.
Chelsea don't need him no anymore.
No,
They've got more than Gibbs White. They've got Cole Palmer. Where are they going to play him?
I don't actually know. Rudolph, I didn't contradict myself at all because you admitted Frank was not a good manager, but I'm saying about managers overall that he's been under. So, yeah, I don't think it's Spence's fault. It is Spence's fault if he's not been selected because obviously the managers don't rate him, but that's more than one manager. I think that if one manager did it, you'd say fair enough, but I think it's been more than one manager that's done that. We saw in pre-season how Robertson was clearly responsible for the Chelsea goal, but we slate Davies, who actually played well. Robertson will likely make the mistakes again. I don't recall Spence doing. I actually think that Davies did play well. I didn't actually slate him. And Robertson, we saw him have one good game, one not good game. So it's difficult to know. Who he'll pick, right? So yeah, we'll leave that Spence talk there. Let me know again if you're watching it on playback what you think, guys, and make sure you smash that like button as well. It doesn't matter where Chelsea would play MGW, they just like to do transfers. Yeah, it seems to be their thing, doesn't it? They just like to do transfers. Interesting bunch over there for sure. Yeah, not a fan at all. Not my most hated team, but definitely up there after Arsenal for sure. There was actually a guy and they asked him in the street, who's the biggest team in London? And he said Tottenham.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that because he's saying, who's Chelsea's biggest game? Who's their rival? Arsenal. Who's Chelsea's biggest game? Tottenham. Obviously, when West Ham were here, who was West Ham's? Tottenham. Who's Crystal Palace's big game? They always seem to step up for Tottenham, right?
I know. Who wanted Tottenham to go down?
All of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, it's so funny that basically we are, because we're the most hated team, so that means that we're big in it. So this is some of what has been said with De Zerbi in an interview. At least So Spurs have spent 237 million in the transfer window so far, and Zerbi wants 2 or 3 more players to join in the weeks ahead. At least 2 of those will be attackers. While some managers hate the transfer window, the Italian loves the thrill of the hunt, calling himself a shark when he wants a player. He said, I don't know why I love it. Maybe because when you take the decision, you take responsibility. But I think the coach calls the players. You can build a special connection at the beginning with them, said the 47-year-old. The player knows you are key for the transfer, and maybe this player feel like they have to give you back something more than if, for example, Lang calls the player. So he added, when Matheus Fernandes, I spoke with his parents, with Van Heck after the Everton game, I sent him the message, F off, you want to send down Tottenham for Brighton when you made the assist to Jorginho Rutter. Now you have to come to me. Yes or yes, you have no choice. So
I love that.
Yeah, what do you think about that little bit? I'll read some more, obviously.
That cracked me up when I heard that first one this morning. I couldn't stop laughing and stuff. Just such a classic interview. It doesn't surprise me at all. He said that.
Yeah,
he comes across that type of character, doesn't he?
Yeah, I really, really like his character. I really do. I think he's fantastic. I'm not biased at all. Joe, what? The reason I'm not biased is because I want all of our players to do well because they play for Tottenham. So I don't care who it is. I want them to do well. So I've got absolutely no bias because I've got no attachment to any of the players. Even Romero, he can go and I don't really care. At the end of the day, it's got to be what's best for Spurs. So I don't really have biases because I'm not really attached to a player like that.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to be attached to players. But as I've got older, I'm just like, I'm attached to Tottenham. Tottenham, who I love. I don't love the players. They play for the club, but all players will find a better opportunity somewhere. They'll play with Spurs for a few years, then they'll go somewhere else where there's a better opportunity. We're always Spurs fans. No matter who plays for Spurs, we'll always be Spurs fans.
100%. Big up to you, Benji. Make sure you're going over to the Tottenham Concept and subscribing. He's just got over his 100, so please make sure that you do that. Big up, Lee. I hope you're well, and also go over to Lee and subscribe to him. Like I say, you should support everybody. Genuinely, I am like that. I genuinely want to support everyone because I think that it's a really nice thing to do. Because it's not easy out here on the YouTubes. Because obviously, you know, it's not always something that you can get lots of subscribers, lots of people watching. You know, it's not easy.
I'm gonna start doing lives again soon. Sort myself out.
There we go. Exclusive here. That he will be doing them again. Hello, Mia. I hope you're good. All these quotes from RDZ could come back to bite his ass if we don't sign these players, says Stevie. I guess they could come back, but what they probably people would say is that that's the board's fault for not getting them for him, I presume.
I think he's saying a lot of things to put pressure on the board to get it done.
I mean, I don't know if that really works, but I guess.
Well, they owe him with their life, really, don't they, for keeping us in the Premier League.
Yeah, no, he does 100%. Well, he does say that. We'll talk about in a minute what he says about the board. He says De Zerbi loves the moment when the transfer plan comes together because of the transformative effect it can have, especially on a club like Tottenham that has suffered in recent years. I'm excited when we close the deal, yes, but not for the player, because we can play with JP, without JP, with Tonali, without Tonali. But I think it's different relationship, it's different atmosphere, he admitted. De Zerbi has been working closely with Spurs CEO Vinay and Sporting Director Lang since mid-March during the negotiations for him to come to North London club. We're working very well. It's my best connection with the board. Also, the players we sold because for Vuskovic it was together, he recalled. The request of Vuskovic, we spoke with Vinay, with Johan together because I consider my job? No, because I consider Tottenham or my club. The money of my club, I consider the money. It's like the owner is my father. You don't want to spend money to ask your father to spend money or to lose money. And if we bring in players, if we sell players, it's one family. So that's interesting what he said about the board, because obviously we know there's been ups and downs with managers with the board previously. So I think that obviously speaks to how he has connected with them. Big up to Driller, pin up the link, and also to Ghost. I hope you are well. For Benji, and then there's Lee, his link as well. Make sure that you are going over, and also Anthony too. Please go over to him and subscribe. So yeah, what do you think about that thing about the board?
I know that's the thing is it seems like he has a good relationship with the board, which is positive. If he didn't have that, if Daniel Levy was here, I don't think we'd have De Zerbi as our manager. And even if we did, I don't think he'll be our manager for very long. I think he'll be out the door. But I just love the way he talks about the club, like when he says my club and all this stuff. And he talks like very positive, like he really wants to be at Spurs. And yeah, I think hopefully this isn't a false dawn and this is like proper good relationship with the board and De Zerbi, and hopefully he stays here for years.
Yeah, well, I would love that because I just like De Zerbi. I think there's something about him that gives me such a good vibe, I must say. I really do.
He's a bit like he's like our like I heard Stel say on We're Tottenham TV that he's like another Pochettino character and stuff, and like he's Pochettino's 2.0, whatever it was. I can't remember exact words he said, but which is true actually. He gives me the vibes of that type of type of character.
Yeah, I do as well. I think that he does give me some sort of like, I don't know, like good vibes. I just got a good feeling, if I'm honest. You can't go into season with Porro as right back and Gray as the backup, says Ghost. I hear you. I wouldn't say that we should get rid of Spence, Ghost, if we're not going to get a replacement. I don't agree with that. I think that we should 100% get a replacement. So he said also, we are starting for a plan of 5 seasons, 5 years, but also maybe 2 months, maybe 2 days, because in football, you never know. I mean, I don't want to hear that from him. But at the beginning, we are building the plan for 5 seasons. And I think if you spend big money for one old player, it's not the right solution. So if my request is not right for the policy of the club, I can't ask. But I have to understand before to ask the club no. Or okay, we are spending money, but we are spending money for the plan, for the project. This is part of the history of the football. They have to be good on the pitch, but they have to understand the financial part. So he's talking a lot about financials there, right? And also saying that he understands that he might want a player, but they might not necessarily fit what Tottenham want. And I think from what I'm reading and what I've read, I don't know if I think the quote's coming on in a bit about Paulinia. I think that's what it was about. So I think that little bit was about him wanting possibly Paulinia as well. So what's your thoughts about that, and also about the money thing? Because he seems to be quite I don't know, like expansive in his conversation about financials as well.
Sorry, I missed that. Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
Yeah, him talking about the financial side. So he was saying, obviously, if the financial isn't good, that he can't ask. That he obviously is aware that he can't just spend money. Basically, that he has to be mindful of that, about the cost as well.
Well, he's to be honest, I don't know about that, because we've spent more money than we've ever spent as a club. So
Big
and
up, Kate.
we've got all this money to spend. So when he says that he can't ask, it does seem like he is asking, because we are spending, that the club are backing him so far.
I don't think he's saying that he can't ask. I think that maybe he's saying that he's aware of the money, like that. Obviously, he can't just keep asking and asking for players. And also, I said, like, it's to do with Paulinia. Like, he wanted Paulinia, but that didn't suit, so he's not going to ask, basically, because obviously he knows that it maybe doesn't suit the project.
Well, we probably obviously wanted Paulinia, but we've basically got. I mean, I liked Paulinia, and he obviously kept us up with the goals he got. But at the end of the day, he ended up signing better players, really, didn't he? And Tonali and Fernandez, and a bit younger as well. So he's not gonna kick up. He's not gonna mind that. If basically, if you're not gonna get me Paulinia, if we can't sign Paulinia, then sign me better. Is basically what he's saying, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I think that he also, like I said, knows that you have to be aware about the project. That's what he was sort of saying, was it's about the
Yeah.
project and what's best for the project, and maybe what he wants isn't always best for the project, if you like. So
Yeah.
I think that that's sort of what he was saying. Instead of selling Spence to spend the money on replacement, spend the money on proven striker more than one. I think, like I say, that you probably are looking at someone to replace Spence if we did obviously get rid of him. And I think that, yeah, it's not the biggest problem, but if he wants to leave, he wants to leave, right?
Yeah. I've got to go. I've got to pick up my missus from somewhere. But
No problem.
thanks for having me on, yeah.
No problem.
And
Thank you
yeah,
for joining.
anytime. Thank you very much. Take it easy, everyone.
Andrew, right, take
Take
care.
care. Bye.
Yeah, so I'm going to read the rest of the quotes, obviously, the interview. So a good example of that is De Zerbi publicly stated last season that he wanted to bring in Paulinia. So, yeah, of course, that was sort of hinting at that, about, he wanted him. He said, I think the top clubs now, they're not worried about selling players. No, even Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, when they have to sell, they have to sell. Right price. You don't have to be shy, he said. But when you have spend money, you have to do that. Strong, fast, quick, the right player, the right investment. So, like I say, it seems like that he's very aware about bringing in the right players. He's not sort of going out and just wanting any player. He's got to be the right one, and to spend big money, you've got to do it quickly. So I do think that, honestly, that's something that we haven't done previously, right? We haven't got in players quick. Liverpool said you can have Gakpo, but we want Spence 30 million, 35 million top on top. I mean, I wouldn't say no, but we have to get a replacement for Spence. That's the only thing, Driller. That's the only thing I think I'm a bit concerned about, because getting a replacement, we haven't got anyone for Porro. And is that a bit risky to allow him to go before we've got a replacement? I'm not sure about doing that, if I'm honest. I don't know. Let me know, guys, what you think about that. But I think it's a bit of a risk by doing that. I really do. I think that if we do that, it could pose an issue because we haven't got a replacement. So I honestly, as much as I say about Spence, I wouldn't want to do that without a replacement, without somebody else, because I just don't think that's the way to go about it. Like I say, bit of a funny one, but I do think that we have to think about that. It's not basically as easy, is it? Just to say we'll get rid of Spence. Good to have a live chat on your show, Mia. Well done. Big up to you. Would be massive risk if Porro gets injured. We'd be in big trouble. Big trouble, Ghost. I think so. Given the medical team, I wouldn't take the risk. I know that's the thing, isn't it? I'd take the Liverpool deal and put Archie in as cover, says Seven Sisters. I mean, a lot of people probably wouldn't approve of that. They probably wouldn't want to have that him as cover. But it is what it is. I understand maybe why people wouldn't want that, wouldn't want him as cover, because of course he wants to play more in midfield. And I think that if we put him in that position, we're just doing it all over again, aren't we? Where we're sort of shoehorning a player into a position that's not their preferred one. So yeah, I'm a bit kind of like, I'm not sure about that. Neco Williams rather than Spence is mad. I think that Neco Williams is actually a very good player. I think I brought up the stats before, to be honest with you, and he's actually statistically actually as good as Spence. Ghost is Gray's a midfielder, not a right back. Yeah, no, that's right. I think we're shoehorning him, and I wouldn't want to do that. I'd give Gray instead of Spence, says Sonny. I don't think we're going to get rid of Gray. We're all just making players play out of positions again. It don't make sense. Yeah, that's why I said that I think if we do it, we have to obviously get someone else in. In the short term, I hear you, but I think short term isn't what we're looking for. If we're going to create a problem and sell Spence, because we are sort of creating a problem for ourselves, if he really wants to go as well, obviously get him gone. But I just think that maybe it's not a good idea if we haven't got a replacement. I just don't see seeing that as a good idea. Sell Spence last season, 44 games, no goals, no assists. So we have Porro right back, only need backup right back. Yeah, Callie, I agree. I think that at the end of the day, we could get a backup for, I think not a backup, but we need somebody that we can maybe have that will come in for Porro, because Porro can't play, or he shouldn't be playing all of the games. Even if it is one game a week, but if we get into Europe, that's going to be a problem, right? We need to have somebody. Yes, you can hear Ozzy, because Ozzy's right behind me. He's absolutely right behind me, snoring, because he's just gone on his walk with Alex took him for a walk. No better though. I mean, I don't know if I think that he's equal to, so there's neither one of them is better. I think that Neco Williams is a very good player. I'm not going to say that he's not. Then what's the point? Because if Spence wants to leave, look, when we had Kieran Trippier, when we had Kyle Walker, that's when we need to keep. Why we need to keep Spence? Says Jason. Yeah, I hear you. That's what I'm saying about if Spence really wanted to leave. I think that at the end of the day, it's already been said that he doesn't want anybody to Zerbi who doesn't want to be here, right? So I think that if that's the case, then he needs to go. But we also need to think about replacement. If we sold Spence, we'd have 4 left backs and 1 right back, unbalanced squad. Yeah, no, I agree, Ghost. I'm not trying to deny that. So De Zerbi also said, I was proud and happy to stay up, but I don't feel like last season was my achievement. It was the players, he said, because when I came, I saw the players after Sunderland in the dressing room. I didn't tell you in the press conference, but it was like this. All the people crying, laying down on the floor in the dressing room. I asked, did we pass away? I tried to transfer positivity and observe the situation from another perspective. I was honest. I always considered that Tottenham players are top players. One big dinner in Barachelina in Mayfair with alcohol. Alcohol is a good medicine. If you enjoy normal and seriously, not as stupid people, he explained. I believe in staying together. Then I transferred every day my opinion about them. I think they considered themselves in that moment worse than people thought, but there was possibility to stay up and win. Have a look. Last season, we could have won against Brighton. Wolves, we won. Aston Villa, we won. Leeds, we could win, because if there was a team who deserved to win, it was Tottenham. Chelsea, maybe we didn't deserve to win, but we didn't deserve to lose. And Everton, we did deserve to win. Sunderland, we lost. I think unlucky, because in the first half, we had 2 chances with Solanke and with Bergvall, and 1 penalty cancelled. One penalty cancelled. We conceded with a deflection. The potential of the team was very high. Big up to Benji. You good?
I'm really good. Do you know what? I've not even put my headphones in. How I
That's
heard you, I
bloody
don't
helpful.
know. Oh, my gaming headset. Sorry, 2 seconds.
Yeah, so let me know, guys, what you think about what obviously De Zerbi's been saying. So, breaking news, driller with breaking news. Mickey van der Ven will sign a new 5-year contract at Tottenham with an option with a further year. He is now one of the highest earners at the club.
So what's that going to be then, Mia? What? It's going to be higher than 275? That's crazy.
Yeah, it seems like it. It
You
seems
better
like
perform.
it.
You better perform. Good
Yeah, you
God.
don't want to do that where you give them big money and then they start downing tools, right? Or not
No.
sort of performing.
And then you've got a problem selling them, you know, because they're on such
Yeah.
high wages, they don't want to come back down again. So,
Yeah, no, that's it. What's your thoughts about what he said about players crying in the dressing room, and obviously the spin that he tried to give them to sort of give them a bit more of a positive outlook about the end of the season?
crying in the dressing room, I was completely unaware of that. Can you just give me a quick rundown on the story? Sorry.
So basically, he turned around and said that when he went into the dressing room, there was players. He didn't tell the press conference. He said there was players laying down on the floor, people crying in the dressing room, and he asked, "Why did we pass away?" Yeah.
Right. So to be clear, there were players on the floor crying in the dressing room.
Apparently.
To keep my dignity, I don't really want to answer that, Mia. I mean, what do you want me to say to that? Is that a joke, or is that a real thing?
Apparently, it's a real thing. He said it in his interview.
So what are you trying to tell me? Jed Spence was curled up in the corner with Mickey van der Ven. Just, it's okay, mate.
Patting their back. No, like you do when your kids cry, like
the
that.
fetal position, yeah. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. That sounds utterly ridiculous. I mean, listen, I would say there was a fair few Spurs fans in the same position. I know I was one of them. That was a horrendous season. Yeah, Mia, I don't know what to. Can I ask what you think of that?
I think that our fans are a bunch of the opposite to dogs. Because if I say that word, people are probably going to cancel me. The thing that we used to say about each other when we were kids, innit? That's what you used to call people. And that's what they are, basically. They were acting like a bunch of them.
Yeah, and that's
kitty
probably
cats.
what got us. Yeah, kitty cats. Probably what got us in this problem in the first place, this mess in the first place. Wow. There's no way that's true. I'm sorry. There is absolutely
Sonny,
no way
this
that's
was
true.
an interview with Alistair Gold. That's where it comes from. He sat down with him for an hour and spoke to him.
This came from De Zerbi's mouth. This actually happened.
Yeah, this is what De Zerbi actually said it.
What?
I like the disdain on your face right now. You're just like, what the hell, man?
I got nothing. I got nothing. I don't know what to say. That's
Okay, cool.
Wow.
Thomas Frank really broke these guys. It seems so. I mean, I don't know what he done to them, but yeah, De Zerbi coming in there all throwing tantrums on the floor and crying.
I would remove them from the team immediately. Immediately, if that was me.
You wouldn't have any players to play.
I couldn't have been all of. What are you telling me? He's walked in the door and they're all just fetal position in utter tears. I mean,
no. What you've got one of them on the floor in the fetal position, the other one throwing an actual like tantrum, banging their hands and screaming. Do you know what I mean? Other one's kicking stuff about.
oh my god, oh my god.
I'm joking, obviously.
I'm speechless. I don't know what you want me to tell you. That's insane. It's nonsense. Yeah. That really came from De Zerbi. Like you're not winding me up now.
I'm not wondering, but I'm going to link after the show. I'll put the link of the interview in my description box so everybody can go and read it. I'm reading it directly from Alistair Gold's interview. Good afternoon to you, Psycho teacher. Hope you're well.
Big up, Psycho.
So yeah.
Fun fact: Psycho teacher is half Japanese, half Brazilian. What a wonderful combination.
Very unique.
Indeed. Definitely not going to start a fight with that guy. Yeah, just incredible. I mean, if that is true, if I try and analyze this,
I mean, word for it.
Yeah, for sure.
We never used to say that. That wasn't. We weren't politically correct back then. Back in the day.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, we know that men cry too, Seven Sisters. We're not trying to say that men shouldn't cry. I think it's actually fine to cry if you're a man. It's no problem. But it's the actual context of them crying and what they're crying about that you think you need to sort of sort yourself out a little bit. They
must have been wiping their tears with £50 notes, I would imagine. Poor guys. Yeah. Bless them. They must have been suffering.
Yeah, no, they must have been really, really suffering. No, we're not saying there is anything wrong with a man crying July. It was just the context of it was funny because of the way he said it, that they was all in the dressing room crying, you know? That's what it is. It's because they're overpaid prima ballerinas, and they're basically sitting there crying and feeling sorry for themselves when they got themselves also into this situation a little bit, because obviously they're on the pitch. So
I'm sorry, Mia. I should be talking. What?
You're speechless. I've never known you to be speechless. Do you know that? In the time that I've known you, there's never been a time where I thought Benji is speechless.
It's because I can picture it. I can see just the carnage of tears as he walked out.
That's going to be my next cartoon idea.
Yes. Oh, my goodness, yes. What a great idea. Do you know what? That would be such a good thing to do.
I'm going to have to do that and make it into a short or something.
Oh, it'd be so funny. Yeah, that's insane. Look, if it's true, I suppose if I'm actually going to try and
because they're going to get 50% cut.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He ain't wrong, is he? You know, I mean, if it's true, if I try and put my sensible cap on, I mean, at least I guess that shows they care. That's all I've got for you. I
mean, does they care about themselves, or do they care about the actual team?
I don't know. The way they perform, you'd expect themselves, right? But
yeah.
Wow.
So
was did he give context to that? Was that like the very first game he took charge, or was that a regular occurrence?
No, he just said that he didn't tell the. He just said he didn't tell the press that was the case, like that had happened. I didn't tell you in the press conference, but it was like this. All the people crying, lying down on the floor in the dressing room. I asked, did we pass away? That's these exact words.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Come on, you Spurs.
And Joe, you do know that now all the rivals are going to have ammunition to basically say about our players now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Roberto, my man, that's something you keep to yourself, pal. Yeah. It
Some
doesn't
things
look
are
good
probably
for
best
us.
left not said, right?
Right? You just stay quiet, son. Don't share that sort of information. Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Just a quick question, because again, I've been out getting blood tests. Did you cover the whole Jed Spence thing?
Yes, we've covered the Jed Spence thing. We've had quite a thing about it because people were getting on to me about my opinion on Jed Spence. So
Can I ask your conclusion quickly?
my conclusion would be if he wants to go, let him go, but we can't do it without a replacement.
Okay, fair enough.
What's yours?
I don't think we should sell him. Listen,
Okay.
people say to me, oh, you know, he had a great World Cup. No, he didn't. I've seen Jed Spence play much better for Tottenham. Season before last, for me, there was a period there where I thought he was unplayable. He was without doubt our best player. Couldn't be beaten one-on-one. Was flying up those wings like no tomorrow. Was beating his man left, right, and centre. Like I said, there was a period there where I thought this guy is unbelievable. Now I know that did come to an abrupt end, fine, but for a good few months he was absolutely, and again, my opinion, he was unplayable. He was our best player, hands down. Yeah, I mean, look, for the money you're going to sell him for, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a lot. For that money, you're then probably going to go and spend more on somebody else at a risk as well, because at least with Jed Spence, you kind of know what you're going to get. He's not a terrible player by any means. Defensively, he's fantastic most of the time. I mean, he says it himself, you know, try and beat me one-on-one. He's great at that. So as much as I can understand some people's disdain for the guy, the fact that he offers you left, he offers you right, I wouldn't get rid. I don't see how it benefits getting rid and then replacing him for someone. Bear in mind he's backup, by the way, you know, and then replacing him for someone more expensive and could possibly not do the job.
So let me put this to you. If we are saying that maybe we'll say to them, listen, we want Gakpo, you want Spence, let's do a deal, that might open the door for us to be able to do a deal with Gakpo. He actually does want to leave. That means that, you know, we're going to be like, fair enough. We're going to get a bit of money off of what we would have paid for Gakpo as well. We're going to get some money obviously back from them because we're going to get the money back for Spence. The fact is that if you do get a replacement, then that can be done because we have actually got the money to do so. And if he doesn't want to be here, then surely De Zerbi did say that, right? If you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here. Like,
of course, but you've got to try and keep hold of him. He's English. He's 25.
English is the only thing. That's why you have to get someone to replace him that's also English, really.
And that's not going to be cheap. That's not going to be cheap. I mean, for me, if we were to sell him, and again, I don't know whether he's worth this much, but I'd be comfortable around 50 million, given the state of the current transfer market. Like, and no, he is worth that because he's English, he's 25, he can play both sides. He's of a certain level. He's not, you know, this well-beaten left or right wing back, but yeah, for me, bare minimum 50. Thinking about it, actually, bare minimum, and I don't think we're going to get that for him for some reason. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I love the fact the Spurs are willing to sell people. That's great because it's something that we tend to do as a club, don't we? We keep people till they're in their OAP sort of stage ready, which is no good. It doesn't, you know, benefit us in any way, shape, form. So it's nice to see that we're looking to sell, but for me, he'd be real far down on the list of players I'd want to get rid of.
I think he is far down. I don't think I did say we would be creating a problem. I think that if we don't want to, it's a problem we don't want to create. However, again, if he's really pushing to leave, I think that's where the problem is, isn't it? If he's pushing to go. But I don't think he is. I just don't think he is personally. I just think he does get dropped a lot by a lot of like several managers. So I'm not sure how much time he would be getting, but we do need a backup. And if we're not going to get one, or it's going to be difficult for us to get one, then we have to convince him to stay. But if he really is pushing to go, then there's really
nothing you can do.
Yeah,
but the funny thing is, I have it under good information that Jed Spence absolutely loves Tottenham. His family supports Spurs.
Really?
So I don't necessarily believe that he does want to go.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I don't know if he actually really does. That's what I'm saying. But if he does, then we should let him go. That's how I perceive it. I'm not saying kick him out, but I'm saying if he wants to go, let him go, because I think that a lot of people are rating him on the World Cup, and I actually think that he had an okay World Cup. I don't think he had an outstanding World Cup.
No.
So
no, he did what Jed does occasionally, you know. The only player at Spurs that I think wants to go and isn't being allowed to go, which really is quite a bit, you know, shocking to me, is Bergvall. Now, apparently that £45 million bid for Bergvall was legit, apparently. Why would you not sell that guy? That one I don't understand. Like, I can defend Jed. I can't defend Bergvall because the guy, and Mia, I know you'll agree with me here, but the guy regressed last season, right? The first season he had with us, he got better and better and better, and then last season, I've always said it about Bergvall. I feel like he doesn't know what type of midfielder he wants to be.
Can I just say, in his very slight defence, because I feel like that people are very harsh. When he was come to us, he was still young. He's had several managers, several different types of football that he wants, like they're asking him to play. He has been dropped and then made to put in when he's relied on, when he shouldn't be, when he was that young. And I think we did mess up development of him partly as well.
Well, in that case, I'd put him in the same category as Archie Gray, because I feel the same way towards Archie. But then is there an argument to turn around and say, if you're a good player, you're a good player? Should that necessarily affect?
I get it. I do get that. But I think
I'm being overly harsh when I say that.
I think that when you're a young player, it's more difficult because you're still developing, right? It's a bit like judging an 18-year-old in the everyday world and then saying you're judging them like you would a 28, 29-year-old who's got a bit more experience in the world. I think that at the end of the day, they're still developing, right? Their brains aren't fully developed at that point. So when you're still young, you're still going to make mistakes. There's still going to be things that you do. So I feel like that, that is maybe a little harsh.
Do you know what? I just think after everything we've seen and the complaints we've had for the last 2 seasons, using these younger players, these youth players, if you will, I just think, and I'm sure many of you feel the same, I've kind of gotten to a point where it's like I am cutthroat. Like, I don't want to make excuses anymore. Look, I know what you're saying, and it makes perfect sense. But perhaps as a Spurs fan, I just don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear excuses.
Listen, I do get it. I think that I'm with you that I think we should sell him. So I'm not actually disagreeing with you because I do think we should sell him. But I just think that when it comes to him actually as he's developed, I feel like that people are maybe a little harsh with him when, like I say, the way that we played, the regression that we like someone said in the chat, I can't remember who it was now, said that they all sort of regressed, right? Because they were just under Frank because of the way we didn't play football. I say we didn't play football because I don't class that as football. But yeah, I think that it is a little bit harsh. But does he need to go? Yes. I think if he wants to go, again, we can get really good money for him. So I'm not really too bothered about him staying or going. Do you know? Like I'm not really somebody.
No, I'm with you. I mean, from what I've read, and again, this is the problem doing what we do because you never really know what the truth is, right? None of us do.
Of course.
But from what I've read, it's not that he wants to leave for the sake of wanting to leave. He just wants to leave because he feels like, given the players who brought in, he's not going to get enough game time, which is fair.
Yeah,
I get
that's
that.
fair. Yeah.
And I'm going to be very honest with you. I agree with the kid. I, I mean, look, not that I'm a big fan, but I'd rather Bentancur over Bergvall. So when I think of backup, so when I think of that 4-man midfield in terms of the 2-man pivot and the two people in reserve for him, I don't have Bergvall in that 4-man for me.
Yeah.
For me, it's Gallagher, Bentancur as reserve for Tonali and Fernandes. I wouldn't have Bergvall anywhere near that. But then I wonder if he'd maybe go out on loan. I mean, again, when you're offered 45 million for him and you don't take that meal, for me, if it's true, I would say that's probably Tottenham's biggest mistake in his transfer window so far.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it is silly. I will go with what Waffler says here is we forget a bit how we were at 20. Too much pressure on these youngsters from the media and socials. We're a bit too demanding on them only because they earn more money than us. Yeah, no, I kind of agree. I think that when we was that age, like I just said, developmentally wise, you're not going to maybe judge someone or judge what you did when you were 18 to when you were in your 20, 22, 23s compared to what you were when you're 30, 30 plus, because obviously you've learned a little bit, But Spence,
he makes a good point.
The point is that Spence isn't a youngster. Spence isn't young. I was talking about kids that come in and when they were under 20, when they come to us. I don't know why you think I've got this agenda against Spence Dutch, but I really don't. I've just got a point of view that is different to yours. So I don't think that it's anything that mad. So, yeah, I think that, like I say, if he wants to get game time, because I don't think he is going to get any, I think that selling him would be a good idea. Pointless to send him out on loan, only becomes a club trained if he's willing to stay. That's the other thing, right?
Oh, and that's going to be important. Yeah. If we get into Europe, that's going to be uber important.
That's why he's been convinced to stay, because of the club trains thing.
So that doesn't. You're telling me that doesn't activate if he goes out on loan?
Yeah,
is that correct?
I think it is. Damn. He has to be at the club. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Let me ask you, right now. I've always maintained, lately, I suppose, I think Bergvall could be something special when he's older. I actually do, believe it or not. But I don't think he's going to reach that potential at Tottenham Hotspurs. Where do you stand on that?
I think he can become a really good player. I think that if he's put in the right environment with the right kind of players to help his development, he's not relied upon. I think that he can be coached because I think he's still young enough to learn. If he's willing to learn, I think he can be coached.
I'll go with that. It's difficult because I think the way we've done things is really messed up, and I know you'll know what I'm talking about. You don't buy in a plethora of these young, talented youth players, which is essentially what they were, and then throw them straight into the first team and expect them to win you games. You just don't do it like that. I think players like your Greys, your Bergvalls, even Tells should be drip fed into a stable, solid team. The way Tottenham have done it is completely arse over tit. It's
100%.
It's backwards. We've bought the youth and then we've tried to build a solid team after that. It makes very little sense.
When you look, all the other teams that are successfully bedded in youngsters, what do they all have? A stable team. They all have stability and they all drip, like feed them in, drip, drip, drip. And that's how they develop them. They give them time. And if they're not good enough, they do get rid of them. But we haven't done that. Like you just said, we sort of done it where we did it the opposite way round, which is just silly because you need that stability to have them to learn off of these elders that are more experienced and drip feed them in. But we didn't. We just chucked them in and said, here you go. You're going to be relied upon because we've got nobody else. And that's not fair on them. That wasn't fair on them, in my opinion.
See, so if that's the case, look, can I ask you a very simple question? Do you trust Roberto De Zerbi? Because he's making some big decisions. And the reason why I ask you that is because for all intensive purposes, from what I understand, it's De Zerbi who doesn't want to sell Bergvall. It's De Zerbi who gave Kinski that #1 spot. So look, listen, Yeah, the question applies. Do you trust the man? Do you
Yes.
think? Okay, okay,
I do
okay.
trust him. I think he does. I think he knows what he's doing. I don't like I think that he's done it in other clubs we've seen, and maybe not to this level because it is a higher level. It is upper level to what he's done it before. But I've just got there's something about him that I just think, yeah, he knows what he's chatting about. I think that he does, and I do trust him. If he's saying that we need to keep Bergvall, so be it. Listen, I can't control it. So what I always say is we can have the discussions, and that's great because that's what we're here for on YouTube. But ultimately, what I say doesn't make an ounce of difference to what he is going to do. So I have to trust him, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
There's nothing I can do about it. So even like so when people say things like you get the club you deserve, etc., I'm always really confused by that because I don't control the club. I've just got an opinion of the club. It doesn't make any difference to what I say. I can say that Joe Bloggs is the best thing since sliced bread, but it doesn't make an ounce of difference what he does on the pitch or if the
No,
manager plays him. So for me, that's not what it's about. For me, I'm just a supporter here having my opinion. I've got opinions on stuff that could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I say in the end, cool, I was wrong about that opinion. That's fine. If Spence comes good and he plays and he's fantastic, so be it. I'm happy to be wrong because that means Tottenham are doing well. So
absolutely,
I'm not
absolutely.
bothered by that. I'm really not bothered. But the problem we've got is that I think the fans sometimes get a little bit too caught up with things. And at the end of the day, we've got no control over anything to do with the club. So, it is what it is. We can just support, right? That's what we're here to do is support.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, straight away when De Zerbi came in, the first thing he did was removed all of the as many as he could because obviously we were so limited. But he did remove the youth players. He restored the double pivot. He got rid of, Gray and Archie, Gray and Bergvall out of the team, and sort of restored Bentancur and Gallagher. So straight away he lent on the more experienced players, which I'm sure as fans we would have done the same thing, right? So at least there, I suppose, when you look at it that way, you can see even as fans, because again, like I said, that's something I feel like the fans would want to do. You can see he's making the right decisions. So I suppose has he earned the right to be trusted? I guess. But this coming season is going to be massively interesting because not only are we excited to see all the new signings play and how they mould into the team, but it's also for me, I'm quite excited to see how Kinski works out because a lot of people are sort of slating the fact that he's being given number one. So it's this season's going to be so interesting, so much to talk about. But yeah, I'd be a liar if I didn't sit here and say that I do kind of trust De Zerbi, if I'm honest. He gives off that aura, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he definitely does. There's something about him because, like, the way I sort of see it is that with Frank, he reminds me of like a science teacher. I don't know if you had a science teacher like this, but no, like they dress weird with corduroys and like they've got this weird look about them, and they look like they're going to smell a bit funky, like their clothes have been hung up and they've got that musky smell. That's what Frank looked like. Like he just looked like a bit of like a science teacher or something. So with De Zerbi, he gives off a different aura, man. He walks in the room and you're like, yeah, that's my manager. With Frank, it was a bit like he was a bit meek and a bit, I don't know, he just wasn't for Tottenham.
Frank didn't remind me of a science teacher. He reminded me of a lesbian. I don't know why. Strange one. But I did see, and I'm sure you saw the same video. Do you remember when he walked into the dressing room, was giving a team talk? It was, you may as well have had the kit guy doing it. It wasn't good.
Do you know what I think?
It wasn't good.
Another picture I'm going to do is definitely got to be Frank getting a wedgie by a Christian Romero. He'll be like hanging him up by his pants. Do you know what I mean? Like he looks like he'd get wedgied.
Just being left on a locker as they go out to the game.
Yeah, or bog washed or whatever. Like, and then they'd stuff him into the locker. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he just was that. Where De Zerbi, you wouldn't mess with him, man. He just got that thing about him. He talks
He's got
and you
aura.
listen. Yeah,
he aura farms. He's definitely got that aura without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, look, the guy hasn't. Yeah, you did. Sorry. The guy. I don't think the guy's won anything per se. I think he's won a cup in France. So as much faith as I do have in him, I wouldn't say he's an out and out winner. But regardless of that fact, yeah, I've got faith in him. He seems to be making all the right decisions. And another thing, and you may not deem this as an important thing, but I think what he says in press conferences and the way he speaks for me is it's something I can get behind, you know?
Yeah, no,
Um,
definitely.
I think at this point we've picked the right manager. And it's such a crucial thing to get right. It really is. De Zerbi looks like he suits Tottenham, would you say?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think he's got enough about him. I think that he's got the right attitude. I think that he's got that idea of like, we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves. He's actually somebody who talks about winning and about wanting more and achieving high. So I love all that about De Zerbi. That's what you want to hear from your manager. Even if like people say, but he's saying that, and what if it don't come true? But the fact is, you've got to manifest it, right? You've got to say it. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just means that he's got that confidence to say it, and that's what you want to hear, right? You don't want to hear someone who's a bloody loser. You want to hear
For
somebody
sure.
who says they're going to be a winner, that you want to win, that we're going to win.
Do you know what? That's such an interesting thing to speak about. It's such a good topic to bring up. Right, now, love him or hate him, I loved Ange Postecoglou for one main reason. I really, really adored him for this. As Spurs fans, all we've ever heard is we're not in the title race. We're not looking to win this year. We're looking to build. You know, blah 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 blah. What most managers have said at Tottenham. Ange walks in. Well, why not? Attitude. I love that. And you know what? Roberto has come in and done the same thing. And I sit there and I think to myself, how good is that for the players? Unrealistic or not, doesn't matter. If the guy is showing that amount of faith to his players, then I love that. I love that we've got a manager that's come in just like Ange and gone, well, why not? Why not?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, I think that is such a massive thing for the players because you got to think about it. You know, these are human beings at the end of the day. What would you rather hear, Mia? We're not in this title race, or well, why not?
Why not? Of course. You want to hear why not, right? You don't want to sit there and be told that you're not good enough to win it. You're a loser because you can't win it. It's a bit like if someone says to you, listen, Benji, you can't do your channel. You're not good enough to do your channel. You're not going to succeed at your channel.
Is this a dig or is this an example?
It's an example, obviously.
Sounds like it. No, you're not good enough. Just, you know, yeah.
You're just not good enough.
Or would you like someone to say maybe?
Or if I said to you, listen, you can do it. You can do this. You're going to smash it. You're going to smash it. You're going to get to your 200, then 3, then 4, then 5. You know what I mean? You're going to do it. So that's obviously, you don't want to hear that you're a loser, that you're going to fail at everything. I wasn't having a dig. It was an example.
Are you done? Are you done? Fucking Christ. I love that example, Mia. Choice words. What I think you're a liar. You said that to me. No, look, hey, that's exactly it. Look, I think, and still had this conversation the other day. It's all about psychology. You know, it's instilling that motivation to win. So, look, for one, I can absolutely appreciate it. It's funny, right? When since De Zerbi's come in, I'll give an example. So with Frank, I said categorically Frank will be gone within 16 months. You can go back to the video, you can take a look. See, I said Frank will be gone within 16 months. Even I backed the guy at first, admittedly. I've not felt like that with De Zerbi. So there's supposed to be a 5-year plan with the guy, isn't there? And I don't, for some weird reason, I don't get the sense that he's going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
No, me neither.
It seems like he's the right man for the job. It seems like we've finally gone and got the correct type of character in De Zerbi. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. I do agree. I think that he does seem to be exactly the right kind of guy. And I feel like he's come in at the right time as well, just when the board are deciding to actually get their wallets out and spend the money. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just at the right time. He's the right kind of manager. And sometimes with football, sometimes it just is a case of when all the pieces sort of fit together, and it feels like that the pieces are sort of coming together for us. I feel like that we've got the manager. I feel like we're spending the money. We're getting the good players. We're getting established players as well, not just relying on kids. So I think that if we get some forwards, I can see us being really good this season. I'm not saying that we're going to win. We're definitely going to win something, but I would love us to win a cup this season and be up higher in that table. And I think that he's aiming even higher than that. But I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I've seen a few things. I saw that interview he did where he said, you know, I see Tottenham up there. Great. I saw a few other things, a few reports from a couple of journalists that were saying De Zerbi thinks he'd quite like to go for the league. Like, I mean, you're nuts, but I love the enthusiasm.
We're all a
Yeah.
little crazy around here. Don't worry.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I'm saying.
I agree.
The Spurs fans, for God's sakes.
I think it's a prerequisite as to being a Spurs fan to be a
I
little
agree.
bit crazy. Bless our hearts. It's not easy being a Spurs fan, is it?
No.
Yeah, but like I say, I've got faith in De Zerbi. I just hope at this point now we bring in a couple of attacking players because it feels really incomplete, doesn't it?
Incomplete, you mean?
Really incomplete. So shut up now. Really incomplete. And it'd be such a shame if we couldn't land a couple people because, you know, I would say going forward defensively, well, maybe buy another left back. Defensively, you know, and in that midfield slots, I feel like we're pretty sorted. If I'm honest, I think we're at a stage now where our defense and our midfield are a competitive sort of. You know what I mean? Whereas, look, me, I can't go into another season with Richarlison up front. I can't. I cannot. I have an unbridled hate for that guy, and I don't know why. Because if you think about it, he actually scores goals for Tottenham. You know, he produces when he plays a full season, he will score 10+ goals. So you think he'd have some sort of love, but you know, this is the problem with stat padding, right? And people that go off stats all the time. You can do that, but if you watch Richarlison week in, week out, it's a different story to what his numbers produce, right?
Yeah. No, we all see that he can't, like the touch when we was in pre-season, that touch he did when he just bounced all the way away from him. You're like, you can't even control the damn ball. You can't take it down. Like, what are we doing here?
All right, let me ask you, do you get mad at Richarlison now?
I've always got a little bit mad at him for his touch, but I mean, I like him as a person.
I don't at all. I don't. I've got past that point where I don't get mad because I expect these things now.
I mean,
so when I watch him play, and I've said this in other shows, when I watch him play, I play a little game myself, and I won't lie, it wasn't my idea; it was my brother's. He said, brother, listen, when you see Richarlison get the ball, count backwards from 5. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, just count backwards from 5. And if you play along and do the same thing, you'll see exactly what it is. 5 seconds, he either misplaces a pass, messes up a touch, or just loses the ball. The guy is a donkey.
I can't remember. Does your brother support Spurs as well?
My side of the family are all massive Spurs fans.
Yeah, I thought so.
All of them. My missus and her family.
Chelsea, innit?
They're all Chelsea, yeah.
Chelsea scum. Chelsea scum.
Yeah.
What have you done, man? Like going into like a Chelsea scum family, man?
I don't know. I thought about leaving her. Yeah, I know. It's a rough day whenever we play Chelsea. Put it that way.
Yeah, I can imagine because we never really beat them either.
See, Psycho, this is something that concerns me. Richarlison, you know, wanting to stay to become an English citizen.
Yeah.
Please leave, mate. Like, the only saving grace we've got here, the only saving grace is, do you know what? I've just thought of something else as well. The only saving grace is his contract is up in a year. So whatever happens, guys, if you can just hold on for one more year, we'll be rid of him. But there is one thing that actually did concern me. Now, you know, we were just talking up De Zerbi. So in an interview, De Zerbi came out and said, I love Richarlison. He's a good guy. He's a good player. He feels when to score. If we get a new striker, they may not be able to do that. That concerns me.
I mean, is he going to slag off a player that's here and that might still be playing at the beginning of the season? Is that really what you're going to do?
Right. Okay. I see where you're going with this. So you feel he's doing that just in case?
Yeah. Because he did it for the end of the season, right? He told these players they're better than they are and blah, blah, blah. So I feel like that he's trying to get into his head a little bit. And what he means by he feels it, I think that he means if he thinks too much, that he won't score, that he has to be not really thinking about it too much. He has to just be in that moment to score. That's what I perceive from it, because that is Richarlison, isn't it? If he thinks too much, he won't score. In the moment, sometimes he can just score. I'm not trying to pick him up before you say anything, Matt. Don't give me that look, yeah. I knew exactly what that look was, yeah. Don't.
I can't.
I'm not
Do you know
picking
what?
him up. I'm not. I'm just
The
saying.
crazy thing is, last year, did you see? I think he scored a couple of goals that were truly world class.
I know.
Like, the worst thing about that moron is that he is kind of capable.
He kind of is, but it's just
can't.
not a good enough footballer, technically, let's be honest. Anyway, I'm going to bring up a couple of things that I've starred, and then we are going to go because I've been here for 2 hours, which is way too long. If you was our manager, and be realistic, what attackers would you like to sign and why? Go on then. I've always give my opinion, Benji, so it's yours. Over to you.
Oh, this is easy. It's a shame Amos isn't here. I would 100% go for, so if I could only take two, I would 100% go for Savinho. So now Savinho would be my first choice. He'd be my first choice. I watched that guy. I watched him nearly week in, week out. I know what he's capable of, and I know what he's going to bring to Tottenham. And God willing, if he comes, you're all going to see. And you've laughed at me, people. You've all laughed at me. Wait, just wait. He is everything you want in a player. You'll see. All right, get away from all this GA bullshit. You will see. Oh God, I swore. Is that okay?
Yes, fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, get away from all this GA nonsense. I'm telling you, he will produce for Tottenham Hotspurs. He'll feel part of the team. You'll see. You'll see. Okay, I have it's in my bones. As for a striker, that's a really difficult one. So initially, I would have told you Pavlidis, the Greek kiddie from, was it Benfica?
Oh, I can't remember where he's at, but I know who he is.
Yeah, from the Portuguese league. Pavlidis is Krupi is very much in his sort of his mould. He's capable of playing striker and a bit deeper. However, you've also got Ferran Torres. If Osimhen is available, I couldn't think personally of a more well-rounded attack in Kudus, Osimhen, and Savinho. You've got those absolute demons on the wings that you know for a fact can take out two players like it's nothing. Both Kudus and Savinho, I personally think Savinho is better at it. For me, you know, having that capability down the wings where they will beat men and then being able to feed it into someone who is an absolute monster in the box, he will put that. Listen, Osimhen's not a fancy player. Osimhen is the guy you get the ball to in the box, he's going to score. You know, so yeah, for me, I would go Savinho and Osimhen.
Yeah, I've always said it would be Gakpo and Mamouche for me, so I'm not going to change my stance on them, and I think they're realistic to get. I don't think they're unrealistic. Quickly, your thoughts on this about Vicario, about how it's gone. I unstarred it by accident, but apparently Vicario decided that he wanted to leave when he had fans booing at him, and basically the message was saying that it's a bit we're fickle as fans, because obviously 1 minute they're the hero, next minute we're booing them.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I really like Vicario. I always did like Vicario. And he only really and truly went downhill after that day where the fans booed him. And I for one thought that was an absolute disgrace from the Tottenham fans.
Agreed.
When you've got players like Richarlison on the pitch, Vic is the one you're choosing to boo. And what made me laugh was the 5 games previous to that, he'd saved their asses. So for me, I have sympathy for Vicario.
So for the life of me, I never understand what people feel like they're going to achieve by booing a player, because at the end of the day, you're booing a player and then you're expecting them to do well. Would anybody appreciate it if you're sitting there at your desk and your boss is booing you? Is that going to make you work better? Is that going to make you do better? Probably not. So I think that actually, when it comes to psychology, again, we'll go back to it. Football is a lot of it is psychology, and you've got to think that he's being booed every single touch of the ball. Is that really going to be helpful? And is that going to really get into his head and think, oh, these are really good fans, I'm really going to play well? Or is it going to make him feel nervous because he's getting the ball and thinking, shit, they're going to boo me, they're going to boo me? Like, it's just silly. I don't know what people feel like they're going to achieve by individually booing a player. And I did say the same for Sanchez. As much as people didn't like Sanchez, that day when they booed him like that was horrible. It's such a horrible thing to do. And his face, I felt so sorry for him. It's just not nice. It's not a nice thing to do. And I don't think it achieves what people might think it achieves. I really don't know what it achieves, if I'm honest.
The example you just gave is great. But it ain't just one guy. You've got 55,000. And I'm saying that because obviously I'm giving leeway for away fans. You've got 55,000 people in that stadium, and a large portion of that were booing you. So it ain't like it's just one guy.
No, that's right.
You know,
right? So, then, if your whole office booed, imagine if your whole building booed you every time you were typing.
It's not going to work out, is it? And the worst thing is, Vic really was for Tottenham as well. That's the worst thing.
Yeah,
he would come out. He did. He was the guy that come out in interviews saying, "Look, we're not good enough, and we're sorry. We want to do better." Blah blah blah. He took responsibility, and he's the guy we're booing.
I did feel sorry for him. I like Vic as a person. I think that you're right. I think it did affect him massively, and I'm not really surprised by that. Quickly before we go, Bentancur. Atletico Madrid on top of Romero, and very interested midfielder Bentancur. Would you sell Bentancur?
Absolutely. The smoke that's been blown up his arse as of late baffles me. Bentancur, he's just not consistent. Like, I've seen Bentancur, right, and I'll give you an example, a game. Do you remember when we played PSG at the start of the season?
Yeah.
Had you not seen Bentancur prior to that game, you would have said he's a world-class player. Hands down, you'd have said he is a world-class player. In that game, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was.
But just like Romero, I mean, worse so than Romero, if I'm honest, he'll fall off a cliff again. So he'll go.
But do you not think that before he had that second injury, he was so good? He was one of our best players. And I think that injury has definitely done something to him. That's why I'm not opposed to selling him at all. But I think that you're being a little bit harsh, because I do think that injury has definitely changed people's perception of him, because I think they forget how good he was for us.
I hear that, but then this is, I suppose, where I become a bit cutthroat, a bit like Danny.
Don't be like Danny, children. If you're going to be like anyone, don't be like Danny, okay?
No, but in this respect, he's right. If you're not good enough, whether it be talent, whether it be injury, whatever, if you're not good enough, you're not good enough. I personally don't feel like Bentancur should be at Tottenham. I really don't. And it's just personal opinion.
I agree. I need to say I would sell him, because I do think it's the right time. I think with that injury, it's definitely changed him as a player. But I do think he definitely, as we've had moments with him that have still been, he's been very good. But yeah, sell him, cool. But we have to get somebody else in. That's the thing. We'd have to get somebody else. So I don't want to do this thing again where we're selling a player and not getting a replacement, because that would just be stupid. That would just be a really stupid thing to do. So yeah, I'll definitely say yes. As long as we've got somebody else to come in, that's absolutely fine with me. No problems. Everyone's for sale, basically.
Yeah.
Is the way I see it.
Yeah, and that's that, 100%. I agree. Funny thing is, I would absolutely take Bentancur over Bergvall, though, which makes no sense because I've just slated him. But yeah, what does that say about Bergvall? So,
what does that say about you?
What does that say about me, if anything, you know? But yeah, I'm with you. Get rid and replace. I'm happy, believe it or not, with Gallagher, Fernandes, and Tonali. I think those three are good, solid players. But yeah, Bentancur is just too inconsistent. He's got to go.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to leave it there. But Benji, please tell us more about the Tottenham Concept.
It's really bad. Don't go and look at it. It's an awful channel. Some twat runs it.
Just boo him Make sure you boo him every time and tell him he's rubbish and he's not going to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You'll have some fun. You, yeah. No, look, I hate plugging my own channel. It's horrible. Yeah, come join me for Unbridled Waffle at the Tottenham Concept. I am a bag of cats. My opinion will change. I'm not one of those people that will try and stick to an opinion just to stay right. My opinion will change game from game, especially
He's a
on
flip
players.
flop.
I'm a huge flip flop, okay, and I embrace that. So if you like that kind of thing, stop by.
Yeah, now go over. Honestly, it's lovely to support everybody. And he thinks he talks waffle, but when I watch his videos, I think they're absolutely fine. I'm not just saying that, but it's absolutely no problems with your videos. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, he's a bit of a flip flop. He's a bit of a bozo, but you know, it is what it is. You can't have everything, I suppose. So take very good care of yourselves, everybody. I will be back again tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and I should hope to see you all there. Have a lovely rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever one it happens to be for you, and we'll speak again real soon.